12 people are said to appear in the Umlazi Magistrate's Court today after they were arrested for allegedly looting. Members of the SAPS, that's spokesperson, in fact, Lt-Col Nqobile Gwala, who has confirmed the news to us and says that residents entered 2 business premises and took groceries as well as appliances. Umlazi is the second largest township and is largely inaccessible during times of flooding. Let's talk further about this. I'm joined by Musa Kubheka from ActionSA in KZN, where he's chairperson. Thabani Mthethwa is also with us, DA eThekwini caucus chief whip. If I can begin with you, Musa. Gentlemen, welcome to the program, to you both. Musa, let's talk about your concerns about crime in Umlazi. How much have you heard about that situation? How bad is it? All right, I don't think Musa can hear me. Let's move on to Thabani. Thabani, if you're able to hear me, what is the DA's involvement currently in what is a rescue search as well as humanitarian effort more broadly across KZN? All right, let's see if that works out.
I can hear you now, sorry.
All right, Thabani, is that Thabani or Musa now? Because I actually can't see either of you, so please bear with us. Musa, let's come back to you, to the question I was asking you about crime in Umlazi. You've issued a statement. How big of a problem is it at the moment?
It is very bad because yesterday, even today, this morning, we have been receiving worrying report from Umlazi Township regarding the situation that is facing the community. And on the ground, we have been reported that there's a criminal elements that have taken advantage of the flood that has lasted for 4 days. Mm-hmm. And that has claimed over 300 lives.
You've also said you've received reports of a vehicle, presumably being operated by the same criminals, being driven about by the same criminals in Umlazi, targeting people and robbing them.
Yes, it is not something new that is happening in Umlazi, even prior to the flood. We've been receiving some claims like that from the ground in our members who lives in C section, that there are criminals that said to have resort to entering people's homes and helping themselves. And the one that the car that is driving around, that's how bad things are at Umlazi. It has become very, very toxic and very dangerous. I even tried to contact our commissioner, to report these matters to him, just to find out how far are they assisting with Umlazi.
And what was his response? What has been the police general response to the crime situation in Umlazi? Because people have been speaking or tweeting about that now for about 3 days from what I've seen.
Unfortunately, when I tried to reach him, he was busy in the meeting. So I could not be able to speak to him. But prior to that, I did send even the email discussing the danger of the community of Umlazi. Because as you all know, in eThekwini alone, there have been several murders of the councillors, which even some of the members in the society, they are very scared. They're living in a very fierce situation. So what is happening now is just that the people of Umlazi, especially these criminals, are taking advantage of the situation because as ActionSA, we think that even the SAPS, they need more assistance even with the SNDF. Yes, so that to control the situation, because as we have just mentioned now, there are about 12 people who have been
Let me bring in Thabani into the conversation. Thabani, you're with the DA. Musa was just telling us about how much of the crime problem in Umlazi has been an existing issue even before these floods. Let's talk then about the other issues that have emerged as points that need urgent attention after the rains on Monday. How much of the problems were there before the disaster and should have been handled earlier?
Look, thank you, and good afternoon to your viewers. Look, even before this current disaster, there's always been problems of lawlessness and criminality in all the areas of eThekwini. But when this thing started, I think when we started hearing the re-emergence of this looting in Umlazi, I personally had a conversation with the Deputy Commissioner of Metropolis to say, what is their state of readiness to make sure that we don't see a repeat of what happened in July last year. From what I was told is that Metropolis is well aware and they are ready to counter whatever criminal element that would emerge out of this. Surprisingly, last night we were told that 2 businesses have been broken into by these looters. So we are in a very crisis situation indeed.
We've got these arrests now, 12 people taken into custody by the SAPS. Are you encouraged then, Thabani, that the SAPS is indeed now acting on the reports of crime in Umlazi? Thabani, I'm going to try one more time if you can hear me. Are you encouraged by the arrest of these 12 people as far as the SAPS response that something is finally being done? Okay, Thabani's picture is frozen. Bear with us because, as you may have seen throughout our coverage today, we've been telling you about how cell phone signal is one of the issues that have become really quite problematic in parts of KwaZulu-Natal because the infrastructure that's been damaged is related to what the cell phone companies, MTN and I believe Vodacom as well, has issued a statement in recent days saying that they're battling to provide consistent coverage. Thabani, if you can hear me now, I'm going to give it one final shot. I was asking you about the arrest of these 12 people and whether you then as the DA in KZN are now finally encouraged that the SAPS is taking action to get a grip on the situation. I don't think we're going to win Thabani's line, actually. Let's leave it there. Let me come back to you, Musa, and ask you that same question. These arrests, then, are you encouraged that something is being done finally?
Yes, we are encouraged. At least we know now that there are actions that have been taken, and that it might be a relief even to warn the criminals who are still trying to or planning to do something and taking advantage of what is happening around Umlazi at the moment.
What else do you think is going to be necessary for KwaZulu-Natal in the post-emergency era as far as helping people, helping businesses, and making sure that the province, and especially the eThekwini area, is better prepared should we see a repeat of these scenes?
It's unfortunate because we did not learn even, if you remember, December last year we had almost similar situation regarding the floods. And again, the past 4 days was very hectic for everyone. I believe that if as eThekwini, we make sure that the disaster management, because I'm worried with the way they are responding and the time frame that they take to make sure that they tackle the issues, especially when it comes to disaster situation. If you quite remember, it took them more than 3 days to come up with a plan, and we only received the report of action yesterday today in the midnight, which gives us a problem as ActionSA, and it's made it clear that the government at the moment, I don't think they have a plan when situations like this took place in our province.
Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. The ActionSA and DA organizations, political parties reacting today to the aftermath of the disaster in KwaZulu-Natal.